Hey guys, welcome back to a great tutorial. We're gonna go ahead and dive in and I'm gonna show you how to create zombies in Fortnite Creative. So the first thing we're gonna do to get started is drop down 6 different devices in order to make this work. So we're gonna be touching on some really advanced devices today. We're gonna be looking at the down but not out device. We're gonna be looking at class designers, playing around with the new timers, and even getting messy with some of these visual effects devices as well. One thing I would suggest is building these mechanics somewhere underground or somewhere not visible to your players, because you do not want them seeing these mechanics. They can all be done somewhere hidden on your map. The first device you're going to want to place down is the down but not out device. So go ahead and put that in, then go ahead and copy my settings here. Enable during phase, you want to leave that on all. Down but not out enabled, yes, because you don't want them to die, you just want them to fall down. So keep that on yes. Tenacity depletion rate I have at 50. That means every second they lose 50% health. Now you're saying, well, why would I want that? So the zombie interaction isn't perfect. If 2 people get eliminated at the exact same moment, one of them is unfortunately not going to become a zombie. Now the chances of that is pretty low, but it can happen. So if they go into a down but not out state and they don't become a zombie, I want them to die pretty quick. So within 2 seconds, if they don't become a zombie, they'll just die. So that's why I chose 50%, which is basically 2 seconds until death. I chose that just because I think it makes the most sense. The chances of this happening, once again, are slim, but it's good to have. Health after revive, I have set to 100%. So that could be 100% of 200 health, 1,000 health, whatever you set as the health, which we'll get into later. You want it to go back to 100%. Time to revive instant. So right when the player is down, you want them to come right back to life as a zombie. You don't want there to be any downtime. So time to revive is instant. You could leave allow revives on no, just in case. Shakedowns, I just leave off. Chances are you won't be able to pull one off in 1 second, but just to make it less technically glitchy, I just turn these things off. Show player location on shakedown, no. Alert team when downed, off. Now, once again, some of these shouldn't matter, but I just turn it off anyways, just to be cautious. Last man standing mode on. Yes, you need to keep this on because this says, if there's only one zombie left in the game, should I end the game? And the answer is yes, right? Because if you have a zombie and they're the last player, well, they technically won the BR, so you want to change that to yes. We're not going to be doing anything with teams, so you can leave selected team on none, because we're doing solos for this game mode in this example. That also will apply to effects team. You can leave that alone as well. We're not going to be doing anything with classes, though you could get more complicated with selected class. We're going to just leave that alone for now. So you're going to leave select class to none, and then you're going to leave it on only selected. Now, if you did use a class system, you want to make sure it says effects class only selected, but we're not doing that in this tutorial. Allow carry, I turn to no because I don't want people to carry you while you're being revived. Now, these channels, we're going to leave pretty much alone except for a couple of them. Only 2 we're going to modify here. We're going to have one that says revive player when receiving from, and another one that says when player down, transmit on, right? So these are our 2 channels. We want to leave that at channel 291 and 290. Now, if you have different channels, you can use them. You can make it channel 1 and channel 2. It doesn't matter. But let me show you how to activate this. So we need to make it so we're going to put a timer down. This is where the timer device comes into play, all right? And we're going to make it so the timer starts when the player is down on 290. And then when the timer is done, it's going to transmit to 291, which is going to be the thing that revives the player. So we're going to put a new timer device down. We're going to set it to 1 second and we're going to copy these settings. So we want to set it to duration of 1 second. You can name the timer. I don't see a reason to, so I'm going to leave that alone. Timer direction, you can leave alone. You can leave all of these settings alone. Start timer at game start, off, activating team, any, allow class, any. So applies to, you want it to be player. Okay, you want to make sure it's not set to everyone. You want it to only apply to the player that triggered it. Result on their timer end is success. Completion behavior stop. Visible during game, no. You're going to probably have this hidden, but if for some reason you can't hide the device, you want to make sure it's not visible. Timer color, you could leave alone at white. Display time, you leave on the default of minutes, seconds. I'm not going to put anything in these text fields here. We're going to leave that all blank. We're going to leave all these to 0. And show on HUD, no. You want to make sure you can't see it. So once again, we're hiding it. You can leave the rest of these alone. On bold, don't save, off, never. Once again, we're going to leave all of these until we get to start when receiving from. Now on this one, we're going to choose 290. So remember, we had one channel that says when player downed, transmit on 290. And when players revived, transmit on 291. So what did we do with the timer? We set the on success transmit to 291. So there you go, revive player when receiving from channel 291. So guys, now our zombie's working, but maybe we want to indicate that that player has become a zombie. So let's change their body color by using the visual effect power-up device. So place that down, and we're going to change some of the settings here. Now I chose the color red-orange. You can change it maybe to a green or something like that. But I like the red-orange for the zombie. Effect duration, I left to infinite, right? Because I want that effect to stay the rest of the game. Time to respawn is instant, because I want them to turn to that color instantly. Ambient audio I turned off just because I don't want it to sound like a power-up, though you could try it, you know. Leave everything else on the default. Pickup audio could be on. Is effect visible to local player? Doesn't matter, it's gonna be hiding. All these settings leave alone. Scroll all the way down till you get to the channel settings, and then pick up when received from channel 291. 291 is our zombie channel. Remember on the down but not out device, it says revived a player when hitting 291. So this is now also saying revived a player and turn them red. So we've done that. But now we need to make our zombies OP, or maybe cripple them a little bit, but we're changing their classes. So by doing this, it's gonna be able to give our zombies some special powers. You wanna put down a class selector and a class designer. We're gonna first modify the class selector. Now I did pull this from DirectingPete's Battle Royale, so I have this set to channel 16. You can make this class any one. You can make it 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 16, as long as the selector and the designer are matching. Time to switch, instant. I don't want any delay. The moment you become a zombie, I want you to have these newfound powers. I'm gonna leave everything else alone. Then visible during game, I'm gonna turn off. Volume visible in game, I'm gonna also turn that off. And activation audio, I'm gonna make sure is set to off. Zone audio, I'm also gonna turn off. Change player to class when receiving from 291. So once again, we're saying, let's give this player superpowers when the down but not out device revives the player, which makes them a zombie, right? So that's perfect, that's what we want. Now also, you don't have to use channels 290 and 291, I just chose those. You can use any free channels on your map. Let's head over to the class designer. I just made this class name zombie because that's what you're becoming. Make sure the class identifier matches. That's the most important thing. If you have 1 on the class selector, make sure it's 1 here. If you have it set to 16 there, make sure it's set to 16 here. That's how they talk to each other. Maybe you don't want to do a zombie. You could do anything. You could make it a beast, a werewolf, an angel, it doesn't matter. So starting health when they become a zombie is 100%, but I made a change here. I made it so their starting health is 200 health. I did this because when you revive, people could have an SMG on you and just spray you. And before you have a chance to build, you've lost almost 100 health. So to keep it fair, I just gave the zombie a little bit of OP health. Starting shield's 100% and max shield's 100. So I'm leaving that alone. That's basically the default. That's saying, yeah, they get 100% shield and they have full shield when they are rebirthed. Movement multiplier, zombie, you think slow, right? So originally my zombies were at 0.06, which made them a little slow, and you know, because that's what a zombie does, but I made other advantages. Now in my current BR, the zombies are overpowered right now. They're at 2, so they're zooming around the map. Now you could do other things to make your characters OP. So instant reload I have turned on right now on my zombies, which is pretty cool, which means you don't have to reload your guns. You can just spray and pray, which is pretty awesome. Now we're gonna leave, you can change any of these guys. You could do infinite ammo, infinite consumables, resources. I thought those were a little too OP, so I left them alone. Now, eliminated players' items, I just made sure that the zombies do drop the resources and items. So I did force that, even though if you chose don't override, it should follow your game settings. Fall damage, I set to don't override because I want them to get fall damage. But because gravity is set to low, they actually don't get fall damage. So I have gravity low for the zombies because they originally were walking slow, so I wanted to give them some kind of advantage. I also took away jump fatigue because what zombie do you know that runs out of breath? I mean, they're dead, they can't even breathe, right? player names and location. So this is another disadvantage for zombies. I made it so when you're a zombie, anybody, another zombie or another normal player, can see where you are on the map. You can't hide anymore as a zombie. So though you're OP in certain ways, you have some disadvantages as well. So I wanted to make it kind of balanced, and I thought this was a really good balance. Now I left all the rest of these don't override, but look at all those options. I also made a really cool little thing here where when you're a zombie, your maximum building resources go from 500 to 2,000, which is pretty insane. Because I figure, especially if you're making your zombies slow and they're at a disadvantage, you want to make sure they have other advantages like protecting themselves with a bunch of builds. Now, to get 2,000, I also made the harvest multiplier as a zombie 2x, so you could get resources faster to get to that 2,000 material cap faster. This is just what I did. You can change any of this around, make it unique to your own, but this is how I made my zombies unique and my own. Now, one final thing, maybe you want to let the people know they're a zombie now. So I did welcome back to the living zombie ... It just indicates to the player, wait a minute, I died and I'm back? Oh, I guess I'm this zombie creature, right? So you could set up the message just like this. Trigger. You only want it to go to the triggering player. Time from round start is off. Text style bold orange because I want it to be creeping. Show when receiving from channel 291. That's that secret channel right there, right? That's the one that says you're a zombie now. So if we start the game, everything's gonna work beautifully. I set a damage volume to the left here just so I can kill myself. And there it is. Welcome back to the living zombie. And I am a zombie with that 2x running speed, no jump fatigue, no reloads. All those settings that I chose are there. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope it is making your maps more fun to play. If you have any suggestions for me down below, please let me know what tutorial you would like to see me make next. If you like the content you see, please like and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, take care.